Alright, in this video we are going to see how to create this GSAP animation using HTML and CSS. So consider this as a landing page. We have menu, and if I refresh again, and this slider is also working. We have 6 images in total, and the counter also shows up. Now let's get into the code. To follow along, I'll leave the source code in the description. And we have header. The first one on the top is header, and on the left side we have heading, or the info, you can say, the paragraph and the heading. And then we have a background image. This is the background image. And then we have the slider section. This slider is called the swiper.js. Swiper, you can search for swiper bundle, and this is the link. And this is very cool slider, or you can make it or known as a carousel. You can say it as a carousel. Fine, now let's get started. To start, I have created the HTML, CSS and JavaScript. These are blank, and this is the CSS file. You can see demo.css, and this is the JS, which is demo.js. And we have the HTML. For temporary, I just added the Google font called Oswald, and then we have font awesome icon. This is not required. And this is the demo.js, as this is the external style which I have linked on the head tag. And then we have the required style sheet for the carousel, and the required JS file for the carousel. And these are the CDNs, which you can get it on the link which I have shown you on the installation section. You can get it. And this is the GSAP file. I have downloaded it, and this is the demo.js. As I have said, this is the external script file. I have added it on the footer. Now if you refresh, let me show you the demo.html which I have created. So this is blank at present. The very first thing what we need is we need a container. Inside the container we need a loader. What do you mean by loader? If you refresh, the black section comes in and out. That is the loader. And then we will have a div with bg, class bg, and this bg is the image which we will place it. And then we have, so before bg, let's add, inside bg we'll add a header. Inside the header we have h1. You can have logo, h1 with class logo, and we'll call it as UI monk. And on the right section we have, let's create a div and call it as menu, and just type menu. You can see this menu. And once the header is done, we'll create the info part. The one thing what we can do is we'll add this header on top, and then we'll add 2 sections. We'll call it as heading, and we will have the required text. And we have class heading, and inside that we have info, and we have 2 span tag, and then the paragraph tag. And then let me show you the swiper bundle carousel and show you what are the basic HTML required to start the carousel. To have the basic, as I said, these are the CDNs which I have downloaded it. And then if you see, we need a container, we need a wrapper, and the swiper pagination is simply this 1/6. And these are the buttons, previous and next. You can see previous and next. So let me copy the whole section and paste it. And in between this, in between the slide 1, slide 2, slide 3, we would be having our card, and this is the image, and then this is the description. So if you see, we have card. Inside that we have card head. Card head holds the image, and then we have card body. So I'm going to replicate this 6 times, and just to show you, let it be swipe, let the name be very simple, Pagination, preview, and next. We don't need this div. Now let me copy paste 6 more times and show you. And I have pasted it 6 more times and added the required images. Now the only change is this is the container, and I have placed it inside the div. So if you see inside the container, we have pagination, preview, next, and then the font awesome. Let me uncomment this. We need the font awesome for this. Let us uncomment this, refresh it, and you see the font awesome is working. Now let's start with our CSS. For basic, what we'll do is, for all element, let's remove the margin and padding, and let's add the box sizing border box for all element. Now we can see the space between the UI monk and the screen will disappear, and the font is added for all the element. Now let's design the body. So we have body. Let's add a width 100% of vertical width, and a height 100% of vertical height, and let the overflow be hidden. And then we have container. The same way, let's add the background color for the container, and let us give the height and width as 100%. If I refresh it, you got it. For all element, let the color be white. Cool. And whatever is there in between the container, I want it as display flex. Align items center, justify content center. Refresh it. Now all of them will be on the side by side. You can see the menu and the heading is side by side. So we need to add display flex direction column. So menu would be at the top. You can see I'm pressing Ctrl minus to see the screen. Now let's see what is. Now we need the black screen. You see, if I refresh, the black screen shows up. Let's design that. So that is the loader. For the loader, let the width be 100% and the height be 100%. That means it is going to take the width and height of container. Then let the background be black. Control 0. Let's use position absolute, top of 0 and left of 0, and let the Z index be very big, and for now let's make this display none, or let's add opacity 0. Cool. Now we have the header. Let's make position absolute so that it fits at the top 0, and display flex, justify content, space between. Refresh it, and let the width be 100%, and let's add the padding, top bottom 0, left right 30 pixel. And if you want, you can add the font size, and align items center. Cool. Font size, that makes this to vertical width 1.5 is okay. Cool. Now, as I said, the BG will have the background image, and this is the position of the background image. 15 pixel from x-axis and 70% from y-axis. 70% from y-axis, and this is the background image size. So this is the position and this is the size. If I refresh, let's make the height and width of the div 100%. Refresh it. And you see, and whatever is there inside, I want to make this display flex, align items center, justify content center. Refresh it. Cool. Control 0, control minus, and we want to make this, let's see, inside the BG. If you see, we have heading and the slider. So let the heading have width 40% and let the slider have width 50%, so that it becomes side by side. Now cool, you can see side by side, we got it side by side. Now it's time to design the section. That is very easy, I can leave it to you, but I'll do it. Inside heading we have span. Let's make this display block so that it becomes one below the other, and let's add font size 35 pixel, or you can make it responsive by 2 vertical width, by giving 2 vertical width. Great. Now we have paragraph, make this 0.8, and this is paragraph. And if you want to give the width to the paragraph 40%. Cool. Now it's time to design the slider. I have hide it where it has gone. I don't know what is the shortcut. Let me check. Yeah, it is recording. So for now, just to see the script, let's just add the script. So now if you see, we have initialized the slider container, and I need 3 slides per view, and you can see we have 3 slides per view, and I have not added, and the space between is 60 pixel, the space between is 60 pixel, and the loop, I want the loop. So at present it is not working, but I'll make sure it works. And for the next and previous, if you see, this is for next and this is for previous, I'm defining it. And then for pagination, I have used the class pagination as the element, and this is the type. You see, this is a number, and this is number is because of the fraction which you have given. Now let's design the CSS, and let's design the preview and next. So preview width and height is going to be 50 pixel, and let the background is going to be red, and whatever is there, there is the font awesome icon, and that font awesome icon should be at the center, and I have added the box shadow. Now if I refresh and show you, zoom out, you can see these are the 2 sections. Now let's design the pagination. The same way, we are using the position absolute, and whatever is there inside, and let the slider content, let the slider will make this position relative, so that we can make use of the absolute and have, you see over here. Now let's design the card. So for the card I have given the background color and the border radius 10 pixel, and for the card header holds the image, so the whole image, the container of the image is 180 pixel, and for the image I have given 100 pixel. That means the height is going to be 180 pixel for the image. If I refresh and show you, this is it. It is taking the height of the container. And then we have image, and for the font size it is going to be 16 pixel for the heading. Cool. Control 0. Now to match this, let's have margin top 20 pixel. Cool, we got the space, but our slider is not working. Let's check the inspect. Stick this, and we have used cursor. Okay, it is because of the opacity. Let's make this display none for the BG. Control F dot BG. Not for BG but for the loader. Let's make this display none. Now we can click it. You can see it is working. So it's time for the GSAP. So it is very simple. We need to initialize. Let's open this demo file. We need to initialize the GSAP first, and let's get the loader. For the loader, what we need to do is it should start from scale 0 and it should end from scale 1. So if you see duration delay, scale 0, it starts from 0 and its end to 1, and after it ends to 1. Now again we need to make this to scale 0 but the transform origin to right. So if I refresh and show you, scale 0, let's remove the display none. It's over here. Refresh it, scale 0, scale 1, and then again from previously it was transform origin left and it was on ending transform origin right. So that's working. And now for the background image, I want the position to be 200 and then to be default position. Refresh it, and then we have the info div, this section. It should start from not working. Let's see whether we have the class info. I'm sorry for that. So it is coming from top. It is because starting from -200 and it ends on 0. In the same way for the slider and the buttons, pagination and the previous and next button, it should start from left and then to get into the default position. Cool. And finally the menu. The reason for not writing GSAP is this is the episode number 9. We have seen how to create this, and cool, finally we got it.